Pardon me for looking tired. I just woke up and I'm getting ready to take care of the baby, but the baby is having a nap, which means that we can talk about some Switch 2 news. There hasn't really been anything worth talking about with the Switch 2 up until now, because now the Switch 2 is starting to physically show up in stores, not necessarily in the store front, but in the stock, which means that inevitably store owners have stolen a copy for themselves and some of their friends. And you've seen some people on YouTube probably posting the fact that, oh, I got the Switch 2 early. You don't gotta worry about leaks or anything like that though, because thankfully Nintendo thought ahead of these scumbags and made it so that the system doesn't work until there's a day one patch for the thing. So just a word of caution and a heads up, if you see any channels out there being like, oh, I got the Switch 2 early, guys, they're lying, they stole it. Even Nintendo content creators, like the big boy channels, they are not getting the Switch 2 early. Nobody is getting special permission from Nintendo to get the console early. Even people within their company, because they want to keep things fair. I mean, I guess people could do like a deep dive unboxing or something, but otherwise, yeah, thankfully they can't do anything. In other news, EB Games, or Gamestop across Canada, has actually given us the midnight release schedule. So a lot of our stores are basically going to end up having a midnight pre-order release, where you're going to stand in line so long as you've pre-ordered the console, and then you go in and pay off the rest of it or whatever, and then take it home. Check your local time zones. However, for me, it's 9 p.m. I don't know if this is something that's going to be affecting you guys in America, but in Canada, it's going on. Side note, just because we haven't had one of these videos in a while, for Canada, we actually had somebody in Quebec buy up GameStop Canada, and they're rebranding it to EB Games, which is what GameStop has been called for years in Canada previously. Another thing worth mentioning is I did get an email from Best Buy stating that they're going to do a midnight release, but they're doing something a little bit weird because they're going to have two separate lines, one for the pre-orders at midnight, and then another line for people that are just hoping to walk in and get a Switch, because almost all of the stores that are going to end up having a Switch 2 seem to be combating online scalpers by actually guaranteeing that they will have limited in-store stock that's not been reserved by pre-orders. It's just people that could walk in and grab it. I am concerned about the whole two-line thing at Best Buy because in my experience, I don't think that any of those employees are ever going to come out and explain to people that there needs to be two separate lineups. But either way, my plan is on June 4th at 9 p.m. my time, I'm gonna go over to my local EB Games and I'm going to grab myself my Nintendo Switch 2, record an unboxing video, and more than likely stream Mario Kart the day of. I'm really looking forward to it too. I've been talking with my cousin a lot, who's also a huge Nintendo nerd, but now this is just getting into personal stuff, and this video is just about getting you guys the news as quick as possible. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta have some breakfast.